guys, this is Minette from Olives and Oranges, and today I want to make just a really quick video to show you guys two of the journals that I have handmade. So it's this one here, the pink one, and this one here, the smaller green one. Yeah, so the reason I was wanting to make this video is just to show you guys these two and have a really quick recap of how I made them, and then I'll make a follow-up video, of this one underneath here that I'm in the process of making at the moment. So yes, of my first one, I think I used a popcorn box as the outer cover of my book, and as you can see here, it's basically very similar to any old cereal box that I think most of us will have in the cupboards. And so you just scratch open or open up this so it can flip out easily enough, and then you cut it to the size of your covers that you want it to be. So that's just what I did to get the covers, and then because it's still a bit flimsy, I then secure it or make it a bit stronger by reinforcing it with just a second layer of cardboard, and that makes it a little bit stronger. But what I absolutely love to do, or my style of making these journals, is to use fabric and then to just simply PVA glue it onto the cover. Now I in the past I don't know if you can really see here, I think this one you can see even less, yeah, but it's very similar to wrapping a present or covering a book with any other material like you would have done in high school or in school. And I just do that with the fabric, and I make sure it's all painted down with this PVA glue. And what the PVA glue does, especially with the porous material, is it enters the material and it just makes it almost like plaster in a sense. It just hardens it a bit more. So I find that with my journals, I can easily just have 2 layers of cardboard along with a layer of PVA linen covering it, and that makes it pretty sturdy. Another thing that makes it a bit more sturdy is to put then a lovely covering on the inside of any other page or paper, and that just strengthens it a bit more. And I always do it in my back here. You can't see it but that well, but maybe between the signatures you can see it in there. Is another paper I placed in there to just reinforce that outer covering. And then all I did was I would take normal draft paper or pad paper. That's actually the only paper I have at the moment. All my printing paper has run out and I totally need to go get some more, but that's what I've been using in the meantime. So yeah, and I just painted that with coffee and let it dry, and then I would fold it together into 4 different signatures and bind it together, and I'll get into the details of binding that in my next video when I bind this one. So yeah, I really like this look. It's going with that vintage junk journal feeling, and I really wanted that junk journal feeling, and how I got that was to have the different covers inside to the outside, to have everything off center a little bit so it has that thrown together feeling. And with the internal pages, it's all different sizes and different colored papers, as well as different textured papers. And here we have just a nice white one. You can see the signature that I closed up in there. Yeah, and this, for those of you who have seen my first ever video I made, these little butterflies and flowers were cut out from a beautiful gift wrapping paper that I had scraps left over, so I just glued that on, and then took white paint and just lightly brushed it over the whole exterior of this specific journal, so it gives that junk journal type of look some more, or that rustic type of vintage look. Now I wanted to go with a bit of a different feeling with my second journal. As you can see, I've done the exact same process, enforced it with linen. Again, I love covering my books with fabric, but I decided to cover this book with fabric that I've actually gone and designed a little tiny picture on and have embroidered myself. So that was quite a lot of fun, and it's lovely to see something else you make come together with something else you make. It's just very lovely. So yeah, and that's exactly the same thing with this one. I went with a more uniform look, even though it still has that junk journal type of feel, especially with the vintage crackly coffee paper in here. Again, it's pad paper with lines, with blue lines, and that is solely because I ran out of my printing paper, my blank white printing paper. So yeah, it does bubble up a little bit, I realized, because underneath here is all the workings of the embroidery, and of course that'll lift it up from the page. But you know what, I actually really don't mind one bit. I think it looks lovely either way, and I just used, in this case, a green embroidery thread to put my signatures together. Yeah, that is my two journals that I've put together, and I will hopefully start using them. And for my next video, I will be putting together my next journal, which I want to put this little cardboard picture on there. So we'll see how it ends up looking with this picture on it. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, just to explain very quickly how I made my two journals and the uses for them. I think this will just become another journal like every other journal of the one I had. It's quite a bit smaller than my first journal I had since starting this channel, but I think it would be lovely, and I decided I might use this one as a little book to collect inspiring quotes, and that I can even carry around with me because it's quite small. It's kind of like a purse size that I can just chuck in my handbag. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. Tell me in the comments, tell me which one you guys like more and why you guys like it more. I love hearing about why people are attracted to one thing over the other, and it'll just be very interesting. So go for it, and I'll read them and I'll reply to them. And yes, have a great time journaling and keep sharing things with the world, and I'll see you next time.